Hi everyone, it's me Claire from Strange Little Obsessions, and I am back with Janine from Graeae Horror, and we have Janey with us from Janey's Nightmares, and she will be with us in September with a mix of her horror art, masks, I'm guessing, her dot work, pictures, which are incredible if you've ever seen the videos, and she's now a published author, so she'll have some books as well. So this is a little bit of us getting to introduce you to her, so I'll pass over to Janine because she does this bit better than me.
Thank you so much. Hi, Janey. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. How are you?
I'm all good. How are you?
Thank you. Manic week as always, but we get there. So we wanted to start off, obviously, Claire's given a brief introduction to yourself here today. But we wanted to ask, first of all, to get to know you for some of our guests coming in September. Where did your love of horror begin?
Being banned from it as a kid.
Really?
My dad was very anti-horror. I was allowed anything else, but horror was the one thing I wasn't allowed. And I didn't get to see any horror films until I was 16. And when I saw them, that was it. I was in love. I was obsessed with all the special effects. I was obsessed with the monsters. I'm going to show my age now. There used to be a show at like 3 a.m. called SFX, which would break down how everything was made, how the monsters were made. And I was obsessed. I've still got those that have been transferred from VHS to DVD, just so that I can obsess over how Tom Savini decapitated someone and stuff like that. It's just, I love that stuff.
It definitely shines through in your work as well, which we'll touch on later. You can definitely tell you're inspired by the SFX artists of the day and currently as well. When do you think creativity became a part of your life? When did you kind of delve into putting that SFX knowledge and what you were watching into practice?
It's been different points in my life it's come into play. At school, I was very much into graphic design and I was drawing. I did my first like handmade effects when I was at university with a bit of burn effects, bit of blood and guts, but it kind of got put on the back burner until I turned 40. Okay. And then I'm good friends with Rick from Horrify Me, and I did my first shoot in the first year of his business, and I turned up to him and went, Rick, I really want to do this shoot. I've always wanted to be in a horror poster. I've got a load of circular saw blades that I want sticking out of me. And I cut them up and I got them ready. And I turned up to him, who happened to be at a show in Leicester. And I went, right, I'm putting this here. And I did a shoot with him. And I think we've done about 6 or 7 shoots over the years of me going, I've got this idea. Can I pop down? He's done my zombie nurse. We've done blind monsters. I scared him one time when I turned up and I actually had real pig's heart and real pig's eyes, and the heart was fine, but the actual having real eyes freaked him out. It was wonderful. So yeah, he does suffer with me picking up the phone every day. I've got this idea.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anyone to be able to bring that kind of wild imagination to life, it's going to be Rick, right?
Well, it's more I turn up and create something and he takes photos. He just sits back and laughs as I create whatever monster I've got in my mind. But it then took a bit of a turn about 8 years ago now. I used to be an engineer at work. They dropped a plank on my head, which changed the way my brain works. So I can't sit still anymore. I have to be making. And I just found I couldn't stop making things. I've done all kinds of stuff. I've got the model house from Dream Warriors that I randomly made because my brain couldn't shut up about how many lollipops are in it. Made gloves because I wanted one that fitted my hands, that wasn't 10 sizes too big. I've done corsets. I've done different cosplays that I do. If you ever meet me at For the Love of Horror or HorrorCon, you'll always find me in some kind of prosthetic because I just love that stuff. But it became incessant and something I couldn't stop. And from there, I was struggling with focus at work because I wanted the creative side sort of went, I'm stronger than your sciencey side. And I needed to be doing that. Yeah, at the end of 2023, I was made redundant and went, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. Turning 50, I might as well see if I can make a business out of this. And since then, I've been learning how to put a business together, which is a really strange thing when you're used to being employed. Yeah. And letting my creative side run wild and going back and exploring. The pointillers and the dot work is what I used to do when I was doing my A-level graphics and communication stuff. And I went back to it because that was my comfort place.
Yeah.
And yeah, the book was a bit of a surprise to me, and but that came out of a conversation with the Soska sisters.
We have to hear that.
Well, when you come to HorrorCon, for the last 2 years, I've been helping out with the guests. And last year, I happened to see the Soska sisters were coming, and I begged to look after them. And I spent the weekend with them, looking after them, and had a lot of conversations. And I sat there going, I really want you to make a female slasher. I want a female antagonist. I want to be. And they turned around to me and went, go on then. That's it. So yeah, with a lot of encouragement. And those ladies are so encouraging. They're such wonderful people. And they've backed me all the way on, just go out there, have a go. So yeah, I wrote my first book, and I've actually started my second.
Oh, exciting.
And what inspired the name Janey's Nightmares?
Janey is my name.
Well, of course, yeah.
And one of my first horror films that I loved was Nightmare on Elm Street. But also, I'm going to get really personal now. I went through a bad breakup after my head injury, and the only way I could sleep was I had DVDs of Freddy's Nightmares, the TV show from it. And literally, it was the only way I could sleep was to have Freddy's Nightmares playing. As such, it's intertwinable with me. It's my comfort zone. The nightmares are my comfort zone.
Love that so much, like, because I think everyone in this fandom has that film that, you know, somebody outside of genre would be like, sorry, you do what to fall asleep? And it's true. Like, my brain can't switch off unless I've watched something grotesque. And that's probably speaking to the psychotic side of me somewhere deep down. But it keeps them complacent. It keeps them away from public view, which is nice. No, that's wonderful. And where do most of your ideas for your creativity come from? Are you inspired by other artists, or is there somebody in particular you look up to? You mentioned Tom Savini earlier. Is he?
Yeah, Tom Savini is pretty up there. Greg Nicotero, V. Neil. The effects artists really hit me hard. I do like their visuals, but I am also a diehard Clive Barker fan.
Right.
If you want to drill back to where it starts from, it starts with Clive. And I'm not just talking Hellraiser and Nightbreed. I go all the way back to his student work and Rawhide Wreck, Transmutations and all that stuff, and Lord of Illusions. Because he was an artist as well as a writer, he has such a visual way about him. Give me my hands, forgive me. But no, I've always found him inspiring because he's like the triple threat: artist, writer, director, and he has a way of looking at things. He understands the sexuality of gore, and I love that. And yeah, and when it comes to my drawing, I would say the person I'm most inspired artistically, Louis Royo.
Wow, okay. It's a great choice. Yeah. It's always interesting when you pick the brains of an artist to see who their inspiration is, because sometimes you can see it through their work and sometimes it's a complete left field you would never guess. So it's always really interesting. Do films, books or music influence your designs in any way, aside from the darker side of things? Do you draw inspiration from other art forms?
I mean, films are, of course, the number one thing. I listen to a lot of music. I've always been a metalhead. I used to be a DJ for 10 years. So that's always been there. I love my books. I love my art books. I love anything dark and gothic. Yeah, I can get lost in things if given too long.
Yeah, no, I can hear that, definitely. And how do you get like a feeling once a design is finished, or are you constantly in a pursuit of perfection? Do you always kind of feel like on the page it looks visually done, but I can see you're smiling? Yeah.
I go with, I've learned the artist cycle.
Yeah.
You have an idea, you start the idea, you absolutely hate and loathe the idea, it's rubbish. You start to like it again, and then you love it, and then somebody asks you to give it away and you don't want to let go of it.
Right, got you. So it's like a birth cycle effectively for you. Then you've harbored this, you've nurtured this idea to the point it's like a love-hate relationship with a child, and then it's time for them to flee and you're like, don't leave me. Yeah,
have that point where you doubt it. And I think too many people stop at that point. What was it Bob Ross said? Happy little accidents.
Yeah.
You just keep going from those happy little accidents and see where it takes you, because in this world of AI, happy little accidents prove that it's something real, that humans made it. You don't want perfection. You want something that has passion and emotion in it and has those little accidents that someone just incorporates in.
I think that's the nice thing about things that are handmade by someone and it is more creative, because even if you're buying something that they've replicated and made for someone else, like a set of something, they're always going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to be exactly the same as the one before. And I think that's what makes it really unique and special.
Definitely. And have there ever been times where you've scrapped something completely, that you've lost your mind with it to the point where it's not just fallen out of love with it, you actually detest it and start from scratch, get rid of it?
Early stages, when I first went to do the Psycho House drawing, started that drawing at least 4 times. And that because I kept going, no, I don't like it. The angles, no, don't like it. And I will thoroughly admit, I can see from here that I started the saw bathroom and it's been sat on my drawing board for a year, not touched, because I don't hate it. I just can't feel it.
Yeah.
I can't feel it. I can't keep going with it. Instead, I've gone, right, I'll put it to one side. When I feel that again, I'll come back to it. Instead, I'll start doing some of the smaller drawings so that people can have the small frame stuff of me. I literally yesterday finished a piece of Dracula. I've started another one today.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it, that like I think for me as well, I get inspired by things that you were saying, like the visual representation in film inspires me a lot. But I find that when I hit a dead spot, like if I'm reviewing something and I've watched it to death, I go and watch something else, and then I'll come back to the trailer. I'm like, it's like eureka moments. So maybe when you're next knee deep in top plot, that Saw bathroom will inspire you again, and you'll go back to that piece.
Yeah, I never say I'm not going to do it. I just go, okay, that is not where my brain is now. I've still got dolls that are incomplete because I started one that was imposter syndrome.
Right.
Of course, imposter syndrome is incomplete.
Yeah, of course, right? You're willing that into non-existence. I love that.
So, yeah, I was more looking to put her into existence so that I could shout at her, but yeah.
She's not having it.
She got so far and I lost interest. I will return to her at some point, but at this minute, that's not where my brain is at. And I've learned to accept if you follow where your brain wants to be, then things work. If I force it, I will hate it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And what's been your proudest moment or your proudest creation so far? Have you got something that sticks out?
The Evil Dead cabin. The Evil Dead cabin, when I drew it, I mean, that was 138 hours of pure I was in the zone. I had an audiobook running and it took me 6 or 8 months of doing bits and pieces of it. But you hyper focus on this tiny little bit, leaves and bark. I mean, one of the trees alone was 8 hours. I was so proud by the end of it because I look at it and I see the absolute peace my brain was at. I sort of tell people, have a look, because I put so many little hidden pieces in there. But that is my proudest piece because I put my heart and soul into it for such a long time.
Wow. And have customers ever surprised you with how they've connected with your work?
I did have somebody on that particular piece bought it because his wife's name was Fern and he saw a piece of fern in the corner.
No.
But I mean, different people see different things. It's what their passion is. And some people want a little sculpted ghost. Other people want a big piece of art. Other people want a small piece of art. Other people just want to come and talk to you about what they love and the fact that I've got something on my table that they've not seen for a long time. When I have the dolls on the table, I have my first doll normally, which is Selwyn from Braindead, which I made because I wanted Selwyn from Braindead. And that's where the doll started. The amount of people that come up and go, oh my God, I know that one. And we have a lovely conversation about Braindead and the fact that Peter Jackson wrote a script for the second one that still has the possibility of being made. And I get to be all passionate and enjoy my passion with them. And I have Skeksis on my table. And the amount of people that get excited because they rarely see Skeksis.
Oh my God. I'm going to put in a personal request. If you ever make the trash lady from Labyrinth, you know you've got a sale, right? Because I see myself in that character so deeply. There we go, there's a little thing. But yeah, the little trash lady, I can just imagine you making something like that. She'd be wonderful. What's been the most unusual request you've received for a commission?
Don't think I can say unusual. I do a lot of doll commissions for scare actors.
Yeah.
So it is how much detail can I put into their doll of their character, and they normally come back surprised. The last one I did came up with the can you do my nails on it? So I had to make nails for it and paint. She had every nail different, so I had to paint a complete and utter manicure onto the doll.
Oh my goodness. That's attention to detail on another level. That's why you pay for commissioned work and not off the shelf teaming nonsense. So yeah, that's wonderful. And what do people not realize about running a small creative business? Can you give us a bit of insight into what that looks like and perhaps some of the best things and the worst things about going out on your own venture?
Right. You don't stop. You're at work all the time, and that your home is your workplace. There is no downtime. As much as you try to allocate downtime, there is no downtime. And a large chunk of your time is looking for shows, doing your accounts, admin, blah, blah, blah. But this isn't the good thing. And how do I put this? Not so, this is what people saw in me was the difference it made to my mental health and how I went from being a shell to full me the way I was when I was in my 20s. And I get to be me. I get to express myself. I get to do what I love every single day and dig deep into my darkness. When I wrote the book, I had a coach at the time and I was talking to her, and it was like I had to dig into places I didn't know I had to find the darkness to put on the paper. That sounds really, really strange, but I had to dig deep. I love gore. I am the biggest queen of gore when it comes to watching it. But to go into detail on what it looks like and what it feels like, you have to dig deep into places you didn't realize you had.
Yeah, definitely. And I think creating art as well, you always inject a piece of your personality and your emotion at that moment into that piece as well. That's really cool.
Choosing the subjects is me putting me into it.
Yeah.
There's certain things you probably will never see on my table and other things you'll see far too much of.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what you're bringing now because the mind is rolling. I'm really excited to see. And my bank account isn't, but I am.
Well, that's how I feel. I'm like, oh my God, my bank's never going to survive, but I cannot wait.
We'll be more focusing on small prints because I intend bringing a whole new set with me alongside the existing ones. But by September, I want to have another 10 to 12 new designs available.
I've got a big wall space that needs filling. Are you bringing your little ghosts?
I will be bringing my little ghosts.
I do need to buy a set of them. It's on my list.
There will be the ghosts, there will be the large prints, there will be the small prints, there will be some of the dolls, but as I've got one table, I can't put all of them out, so I'm going to have to cherry pick which ones go out on the table. If anyone specifically wants to see one doll, let me know and I'll make sure it's with me. And yeah, I will probably only have a couple of the masks again, unless people reach out and say they want to see specific ones. Because if I brought everything, you'd need to give me 6 tables.
I was going to say as well, actually, on a personal note, when I saw you for the Love of Horror this April, with the knee pads were what made it for me. They were fantastic. I'll try and drop an image in. I can find it over the interview for those who didn't get a chance to see you. But you had this amazing clown prosthetic, as you normally do, but then your knee pads matched it. Can you tell us the process about making something like that? Because it's obviously got to be malleable to a point where you've got to move. It's on a joint, right? So how did that all work?
Well, they are tiny latex masks onto actual physical knee pads that I'd cut down to fit underneath them, and a bit of elastic around the back of my knees to hold them in place.
Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, they were honestly, Claire, I can't even tell you.
I have seen the pictures because I was just like, I was blown away by the mask at first, and then the more I look at kind of like the whole outfit, I was like, hang on a minute.
And so many little Easter eggs. And I was there looking through all the killer clowns set up, and then she just taps me on the shoulder and goes, I already had agoraphobia before that, and now it's gotten worse.
Well, the creators of Killer Clowns were most impressed with my jacket, and they were getting overexcited about the fact I had tiny little candy floss guns hanging off it and cocoons, as well as all the paint work on it. But anyone who wants a jacket, that is pure commission, but I'll do anything on the jackets. What I would say with jackets is I want people to buy their own jacket. The last thing I want to do is go and buy one for you and it not fit right. So I'd rather someone gets the jacket and then I will paint, customize, or whatever else you want onto it. I'm quite happy to do stud work on it. I'm not going to paint jackets that I buy because it would.
Everyone likes different, don't they? So I like, oh, now my brain's going.
Next time you're in the charity shops and you see that jacket and go, I like that, but
Yeah, it needs a new lease of life, and it needs to be like something that's being repurposed as well. I feel that's something that's like being a little bit unloved. It's sat in someone's wardrobe, sat in Oxfam for the last 3 weeks. Nobody wants it, and you're like, I'm going to go give that to Janey, and it's going to be the most badass thing I'm going to wear now.
you're going to walk up to me, you're going to give me a jacket, and then you're going to say, my favorite film or my favorite franchise is, what can you do with this? And
I
I'm
just
going
give you
to
a name of a film and then just go wild. Like that would be brilliant. No, the brain's rolling now because I've got Takeshi Miike in the brain, and I'm like, the insanity I could give you. This is an unhinged collaboration in the making. I love it. What do you think it is that makes the horror community so special?
because horror lets you release anxiety in a healthy way, and therefore we are probably the most mentally stable for watching the most mentally unstable things.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it better actually, because I was just kind of thinking something similar in a recent interview. Was like, you know, we watch the most depraved stuff. Well, I certainly do. I'm in the darker spectrum of the genre normally, and I come away from it, and my partner's like, he's not into genre at all, and he was like, but dude, I don't know how you watch that, and I'm like, because it's release for me. It's like going to the gym and hitting a punch bag without actually being physical. It's a okay, my life is bad, but it's not as bad as that person getting stalked by a knife-wielding maniac and getting torn apart. Like, it could be worse.
It's also a different experience for men watching horror as it is for women.
That too.
Is it Bela Lugosi that said horror is for the women, we thrive on it, we feed on it, but also most horror final girls are living the female experience, and therefore it's a lot harder for male watchers to connect in the same way.
Yeah, he just doesn't get I don't think he just understands it. He just looks at it and just thinks it's stupid. And I'm like, just finding the right horror film for him, that's the key. I'm treating him like a teenager, entry level, but it's got to be the right tone.
It's going to be Tuck and Dale versus Evil. No,
I tried him on Cabin in the Woods even. The entry one that I was thinking was going to be, because he likes some folklore and stuff like that, was going to be the Wicker Man, because it's nice and easy. It's not too fantastical. It's not too out there. He loves Christopher Lee. He loves the folk music, and it's everything. And it's a real film, right? And it's got boobs. So exactly. But we turned the TV on to watch Wicker Man, and he goes, "Oh, Hellraiser!" And I went, "Oh, if there's a franchise to get a non-horror fan into horror, it's not Hellraiser. It's such a messy franchise." And we watched 3, and then he went, "Oh yeah, that was all shit, wasn't it really?" And I was like, "No, it's not. You just chose the wrong thing, because your aesthetic doesn't work with that." And then I tried him on Cabin in the Woods. That was a fail. He liked it, but then he went to me. He just clearly wasn't paying attention, I don't think. He went, "I liked it, but I didn't understand the scientists." So I was like, "Oh, okay, so you've missed the whole point of the film." We tried Cold Storage. We tried They Will Kill You. I'm trying. I am really trying here. Like, I can't go and show
like
him
a list
Martyrs
for
until
him.
he can handle something really easy.
Maybe you need to go back to the 80s with him.
Yeah, the thing is, though, 80s is cheese. I was thinking maybe Reanimator.
Yeah,
That's also, and it's kind of camp and cheese, and it's Lovecraft, which is good. You can't go around with a bit of Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Not the person.
Yeah.
Content.
But yeah, no, I think we start him on earlier stuff, and if not, we'll just have to put together a list and just be like,
is he a metalhead?
God, yeah.
I have the perfect film for you. Deathgasm.
Yeah.
oh,
Thing is, though, he's like, here we go. Sorry, I'm divulging my whole personal life to the whole world now, but let's do it. But like, he likes like sludge and doom and that kind of like old stuff, which is fine, but it's not like the metal that I like, which is hard, fast, double pedals, screaming, like inaudible noise. Basically, it's like white noise but with drum, double bass. But yeah, he's just a beast unto himself. Really, he just locks himself away, plays 40k, and listens to doom and movies be damned. I've tried. I even tried him on Event Horizon, and he went, "Oh no, that's Warhammer. They stole it from Warhammer." And I was like, "No, we're going to end this relationship right now. I'm out. Don't you like my favourite sci-fi horror? Don't you dare." So I'm going to leave it there.
Trick or treat, because it's got Aussie in it.
I don't know. I'm really trying. Trust me. There's an anthology up here. There's a whole millions of films logged in here because of how much content I've watched over the last 40 something years. But I will find one. I'm still set that Wicker Man is the one, but I just need him to sit and do it. So we'll see. We'll see. There'll be an update, I'm sure.
You, because my husband is obsessed. He's probably more obsessed with horror than I am, and it's like any excuse to watch a horror film, play a horror-based game. You know, he's right in there, and it's just like. So what we're gonna watch tonight? And you know, Valentine's for us, we don't do Valentine's because I'm like, oh, Hallmark shit, none of that. But we'll cook a nice dinner, and it's like, right, what horror can we find to watch? And all our friends are like, oh, we're going to go to the cinema and watch this. And it's like, what are you doing? We're watching this horror. And they're like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, absolutely nothing. It's our happy place. And we bond over it, so it works.
Well, you've got to remember Valentine's has its own set of horror films. And if you
It
don't want
does.
it to be Valentine's, you celebrate Lupercalia on the same days, which means you get to do a werewolf marathon.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And
Yes.
if you're not watching My Bloody Valentine or Heart Eyes or a million other Valentine slashers, what the hell are you doing?
You're doing it wrong.
And even if you want your meat cute, you know, you watch Fresh. That's a romantic movie with cannibals. Come on now, people.
Dead's a romance.
Yeah, it is. It's a romance. Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, Dracula is the ultimate romantic classic.
Yeah.
And you can add Candyman. Any man that's willing to live forever just to wait for his true love to come back to them.
Yeah, Candyman is so sad though. I feel for him. That's really sad. He's gone off the beaten path here.
You know what? It's so much fun.
You wait. I started something on Instagram a week ago that I because of the World Cup, I decided to ask for some international recommendations, and now I've got 50 odd films from around the world.
Oh, amazing.
I literally have everything from Uzbekistan to Germany to Russia. I've got a whole stack, and I guarantee I won't find them with any English. They'll all be just watching the film in their original language.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
If it's a good enough story, the visuals will tell it.
I did The Sadness that way, and Train to Busan. I did them without any subtitles. I just watched them. In The Sadness, I'm such a big fan of The Cross that it just clicked his place. And then I found out Crossed is getting a film of its own, and I was like, oh my god. And it's got Garth Ennis and the original writers, and it's got the director from The Sadness, and I was just but I guarantee that one won't be in the cinema.
No, that will be a straight to 4K edition. There you go, have it at home and don't tell anyone you've got it kind of situation.
They'll be us sitting there being like, give it to us now.
Yeah.
You won't tell everyone, and I'll be like, look what I've got.
It's like I just saw there was a new re-release of the Human Centipede triple film 4K special edition, all singing, all dancing, postcards, like everything in it. And it's one of those not so hidden gems for me that I'm contemplating a tattoo. I'm obsessed with the Human Centipede. Normally, this is the second one, and Lawrence Harvey is fantastic in that film. But like I saw it and I was like, shut up and take my money. And loads of people were like commenting, going, what is this trash? Why would you? And I'm like, cinema, like open your minds. Not everything needs to be like, you know, John Wick or whatever the hell the kids are watching these days. Like, no, some of us like weird obscure film. This is fine.
It's hardware to the point where I've harassed Richard Stanley to make the sequel because he's got the script.
Oh wow.
Turned up at Bloodstock last year with the Mark 13 mask and everything to get it signed by him and Al from Ministry. And I was like, I know you wrote the script. And he was like, I will make it. I just need to do stuff. And of course he went off to do Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 3.
Yeah.
I've still got my fingers crossed for a hardware too.
Yeah, I mean, a girl can live a dream, can't they? And then I'm also, you mentioned Ministry. I'm a huge fan of Ministry as well. But I get sad every album is their last album, and then something happens in the US, some political fuckery, and they go, you know what? We're going to write a new album. That's the only saving grace for the US fucking up right now, is the fact that I get new Ministry. So I'm very happy with that. So there's always a plus side. Anyway, We've gone
so far off the garden path.
You know what? It means people get to know us even more.
And I may also now be blacklisted from every social channel for saying something like that. But we'll see.
Freedom of speech.
It's what Uncle Al's there for.
Well, I don't think I'm ready. Okay, so back on track. I just have 2 last questions, and then I'll hand over to the lovely Claire for the rest of the interview. Who do you think you would define as your favourite horror icon?
Does it have to be an actor or character?
It's
going to be Clive Barker.
Wonderful.
As much as I would love to pick a character, it has to be Clive Barker because he's the person that inspired me more than anybody else.
No, I love that. I love that he's a real person as well, not somebody's imagination of a character. No, that's really cool. Okay, and then my final question, which I ask everybody in every interview. If you are to book a double feature of 2 horror films for us to get to know you, what are the 2 films you would choose?
Hardware from 1990 and Brain Dead 1992.
Shut up and take my money. When are we doing it?
The
You know,
space on the side.
I wonder if I can get licensed.
I mean, if I can put a third one in there, I'd add Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
It's in the middle for a bit of levity.
Yeah, if you could put those three together, that's me. And I would love to see them back to back. If you ever manage to get any of those into a cinema, please give me an invite. I want to come, especially hardware.
Well, I mean, between me, you, and Claire, and the thousands watching, we can hope. I am looking at doing monthly screenings at some point in Nottingham, so I will keep you posted because I am looking at different options. So we will see.
Just don't book it when I've got a show so that I can actually come.
Okay, try my best.
Should I consult my diary first and see where I am?
I'll get my people to call your people and we'll figure it out.
I was devastated last October because I was at a show and they had Return of the Living Dead in a cinema in Leicester and I couldn't get there. And I was like, I love this film and I can't see it and I would love to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm really glad I made it to Gasp last weekend because they showed Nightbreed as their queer horror classic and I was ecstatic. Although we were kicking ourselves because I had a mini competition throughout the weekend to guess what the Nightmare queer classic was going to be. And we were like, and all of us have put it down. And they were like, it's a queer director. And we can tell you it's not 80s. And somebody's already put 2 of their films on the list. And we were all going, well, we can't think of any queer directors. And of course it's Clive Barker because someone put Hellraiser and something else on there. And we were like, the credits started. And as soon as I saw the first name flash, I was like, you son of a... Yeah, of course it was. It was going to be obvious. A wild time was had though. It was great. Really cool.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it was good. It was great. So yeah, lovely. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over to Claire.
Thanks. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit before we go just about the event because, you know, we've got to know a bit more about you. So you've already said you are going to bring hopefully some new print pictures. Is there anything else that will be new and exclusive that you're bringing?
At the moment, the intention is just those drawings, but it will be a full new set. It won't just be 1 or 2. I'm looking at having 10 to 12 new designs with me, as well as the existing ones, as my small prints expand and expand.
It's exciting. I mean, I love watching the videos when you put them up of like the dot work that you do and when you design them. So if anyone hasn't seen them, go and stalk her Instagram because they are incredible to watch. What are you most looking forward to about the weekend?
I keep seeing you've got all these things going on. I'm going to be crying that I'm at my table, but it's the people. I love horror fans. I love the conversations. I love to get to geek out with people that are as geeky as I am about it. Yeah, I'm just going to be there high as a kite for 2 days, talking absolutely nonstop about obscure horror films and things I haven't seen that I need to see and things I have seen and they haven't seen and things that we all should watch together and yeah, geeking out.
Love that. I think that's what I'm excited for, just getting everyone that loves the same thing in one place so they can just enjoy it together. So yeah, really exciting. And for people that do come and get to meet you,
yep.
So I'm going to dive away from the question that I had prepped. What will they learn or maybe find out about you that they don't already know?
I like hugging people a lot. I'm a big cuddly teddy bear.
Hugs all around at your table.
It's horror and hugs.
I love that.
Nice.
That is perfect. I feel like it's on a t-shirt. That'll
be the third one.
Yes. So I haven't shared it online yet, but Janey, done a little teaser, but she has designed our Strange Little Obsessions merch t-shirts that we will be doing. Craig from Grim Prints will be printing them, so I'm just waiting for them to come through, so he won't let me share them until they've come through and I've seen them, which is fair, but the designs are incredible and there's a reason I went to Janey for them. So, you know, I'm super excited to share them with everyone and yeah, it's going to be amazing. Our last little bit is a little quick fire round, just for fun. So, classic horror or modern horror?
80s and 90s horror.
I like. Black and white or full colour?
Full colour.
Your favourite slasher?
Film or character?
Do both.
Well, as he's the man that helps me sleep, it has to be Freddy. But if I'm watching one, I'm going to go Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Ooh, I like.
I know that's controversial, but number 2 with the Tom Savini mask. And I was very blessed to actually meet Bob Elmore just before he died. And he got to handle one of my Texas Chainsaw 2 dolls and gave me full approval of them. So yeah, I have a huge soft spot for that one.
I can understand why. Your favourite horror comfort film?
There's so many, and I've mentioned a few already, but I'm going to step out of those and tell you Planet Terror.
Oh, that's a good choice. Did you get to meet Robert, what's his name? The chap who was in Planet Terror this year for the Love of Horror.
Met
Forgotten his
him
name.
briefly,
Yeah.
but I spent more time talking to Rose about it because there was always that useless talent line that has always stuck with me. Useless talent number 37. Had all those useless talents and I'm now beginning to find a use for them.
Yeah, Freddie Rodriguez. I was going to say Robert Rodriguez. That would have been a very different person to me. And I would never have left that line because I have so many questions for that man.
If it had been Robert Rodriguez, I would have been sat there going, and when are you making your next horror film? I like your horror films. Come back to it. This, again, another controversial point of view. When he did the TV series of Dusk Till Dawn, I actually think it's better than the films. There we go.
I really like the series, I have to say. Yeah. Like, the film is one of my
I actually can't. But then this is the girl who openly loses people every time I say it. I'm going to keep saying it till the cows come home and I'm blue in the face, that I prefer Rob Zombie's Halloween over everything else. I like the depravity. I like the darkness of it. I like the fact that we got a bit more backstory. I like the fact that we had a younger Michael for longer. And I don't give a shit. Like, I like Rob Zombie films, and yeah. So we all have our hills to die on, and that's okay. I really tried with the series, and I couldn't do it. I tried. I did 2 seasons, and I was like, oh, it was Z Nation all over again for me, but just with a franchise that they tried and failed. Mind you, it was better than the sequels in the films. I will give them that.
Yeah.
It sucked.
So the next one, I kind of feel like you've already kind of answered it. So it's design in silence or with music, but you did say audiobooks earlier.
It depends. Right. If I'm drawing, I will probably have something on. That may mean, as I said, I watched some films that weren't in English, like The Sadness, while I'm drawing. But if I'm writing, absolute silence.
Yeah. But when you're creating stuff, like the ghosts and the masks and dolls.
If I'm doing a doll that's a character, the chances are I've got their film on the screen. So that I can actually see them from all angles while I'm actually working on it, as well as all the drawings and pictures I'll have. If I'm doing a mask, it'll probably be music, because I'll be away from the screens and it'll just be whatever's playing. If I'm doing dot work that is exceedingly long, like I say, 140 hours, that will be an audiobook so that I can have 8 solid hours without stopping.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the last one, tea, coffee, hot chocolate, or something stronger?
Coca-Cola.
Ooh.
I don't drink. I'm completely teetotal and I like my fizzy pop. Not the diet, full fat. Anyone wants to bribe me, it's full fat Coke.
Hey, mental note made there. We're ready. And then, actually, I do have one more little question. If you could design the official merchandise for any horror film, past or present, what would you choose and what would you create?
God, you really do have to throw me through a loop.
Yeah. We like to get you thinking.
Well, I mean, I'm always designing stuff. So merchandise, not specifically T-shirts.
It can be anything merchandise-wise. Doesn't have to be T-shirts.
Well, you know I'm going to go Texas Chainsaw then.
Yeah.
And there would be ghosts. There would be T-shirts. There would be pens in the shape of chainsaws. There would be a lot of chainsaws, but there would also be bone furniture things.
Well, see, now I feel like they need to reach out to you and just be like, make us a franchise, a lot of merch for this, because it's incredible.
It was the one visual aspect of Texas Chainsaw that hit me first, was all the bone furniture, and to have stuff made from bone. It's just so, I mean, even if you just did it as like for a doll's house size, but to have things like the bone sofa that they did, it's just gorgeous.
It's like if you've ever been to Graeae in Switzerland and go to see the H.L. Geiger Museum, the bar opposite that he designed, all of the furniture is sculpted bonework, and it's sensational. And when I'm a huge fan of his artistry as well, but to see that, and then I'd love to see something with what you do with the Texas Chainsaw and the bonework there. There's something about it, isn't it? It's raw and it's depraved, but it's beautiful.
I mean, I've always wanted lamps, bone lamps from them with the sort of rib cages round it. I know there are people like Black Teeth out there that do skull stuff, but they do it as it stands. I would want to actually use it to create something different, in the same way as using the skinned faces. There are people out there that do skin faces lamps, but I want something that is not how it is in the body, but using the pieces of the body to create something new.
So like a free-formed new vision of what the
If you sort of used the bone arms and then skulls on the end, you could make a chandelier that would look fantastic, and then have like a rib cage and spine in the middle. There's so many options, but you would need to rearrange the bones, but using bones, and then having pieces of skin dribbling down from it, as it, like other people have diamonds, we could have blood and bits of skin.
That's incredible.
to have seen you design one of the set pieces from Seven. Just thinking about it, you know, when they go into that room and there's the air fresheners, I'd be like, imagine if Janey had her hands on that scene, how different that would have been. Pieces of flayed flesh from the ceiling, like those, you know, those strips that they used to catch flies.
I've got a story for you. I did previously do some pub decorating with my staff, and I did a Hellraiser decoration, and they got me a mattress to do where I put some hands and a face out, but because it was so big I couldn't do it at home, so I put the blood on the mattress at the bar, and they put it in their cellar to keep it safe. It didn't tell their cleaner, and their cleaner came down the stairs into the cellar and tripped up onto it and had the screaming abdabs.
Oh no!
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Oh, bless her. Yeah, that must have scared the shit out of her, literally. Like, that is brilliant, though. Like, and what a little story from it. Now I just, like, have visions of you decorating so many things.
It's been a while since I've done props, but I have been known to do props, and I keep threatening to build a boyfriend box in the garden if I ever get dating again. I have all the pieces cut to size. I've just got to screw it together.
Oh, I love it. You're giving me ideas for next year, to be fair. I know we have Loz, but I love a collaboration when I can get more people together.
Loz and I are
any of our male guests there. Be like, be warned, male guests of Strange Little Obsessions. Claire's bringing a boyfriend box.
No, the boyfriend box is for the garden. It's a full coffin to be screwed together.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. Well, that is all we have to ask for you today. So thank you so much for your time. I love the tangents that we've gone off on, and just how much more we've got to know you. I'm so looking forward to actually meeting you in person now.
You're coming for a hug.
Oh, I'm a hugger, so
everyone's getting hugs.
Yeah. Group hugs all around. I love this. Yeah, it's going to be even better in person now, because, and this is what I love about these. Going off on tangent again, it's like we get to meet you all before and get to know you a bit. So even from my side, it's like I feel like I already know everyone a bit more, and it's like when I go, it's like just meeting a friend. So I'm like, yeah. So this is really cool. But yes, thank you so much for your time. Thank you to everyone watching. We hope you've enjoyed our chat, our interview, our digressions. It has been so much fun, and we will see you in September.
Yeah.